Yo, what's going on, guys? Houston Sports Talk back in another video today. We're going to be recapping the Thursday night football game today, which was just a great game to watch. Personally, I did not watch much of this game the Rockets were playing, but I did watch the final 5 minutes where the Rams scored 2 touchdowns and came back to win 17-16. I have no idea why it says 17-13. If you look down here on the scoring summary, it says 7-16, but up there it says 17-13. Even though if you look at the box score among the quarters, it says 16 for the Raiders still. So that's just a mistake that ESPN made. What a game this was. It's kind of a really bad disappointment that the Raiders let the Rams win like this. Had a big lead, and we're going to get to that with the scoring summary. So in the first quarter, we had 3 scores. We had a high-scoring first quarter as Josh Jacobs runs it in for a touchdown with 9 minutes on there for the Raiders' first drive. Daniel Carlson's extra point is good, and then 7-0. Then with 2 minutes and 22 seconds, Daniel Carlson makes a 52-yard field goal. Then you're up 10-0. Then with 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Baker Mayfield makes a couple good passes, and now you have a 55-yard field goal for Matt Gay. He puts it through 10-3. Then the only score in the second quarter was a Daniel Carlson 31-yard field goal to go in, 13-3. Then in the fourth quarter, we had no scores in the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter, with 12 minutes and 20 seconds, Daniel Carlson then makes a 36-yard field goal to make it 16-3. Now the Raiders will play some keep away from the Rams, and then, never mind. The Rams, this is crazy. I don't know, for a team who's, trying so hard to make a comeback, which they did, but the Rams, after this, went on a 9-minute touchdown drive as Cam Akers would run it in for a 1-yard touchdown. And then it'd be 16-10. And then the Rams would manage to get the ball back with 2 minutes remaining and had to go 98 yards, and they did it. They went 8 plays and 98 yards in 1 minute and 35 seconds. The final play, a Van Jefferson pass is caught. Baker Mayfield's pass to Van Jefferson is caught for 27 yards. What a play. What a connection for the touchdown. The extra point is good. Then with 10 seconds left, Derek Carr, they have one attempt for the throw, and they throw an interception. Passing leaders. Derek Carr was 11 for 20 with 137 yards, 2 interceptions. Baker Mayfield had a really good game today. Unexpected, very brand new. He was just claimed by the Rams, and after getting waived by the Panthers, and this was a game for him to show out. He's been I don't know how to say. I don't want to say hated on, but he's been treated very. I don't know how to say this because I think people make it seem like he's such a bad quarterback. I don't think he's a good quarterback, but I think there are a lot of other quarterbacks that are not better than him. I think he showed himself a good game today, and he was 22 for 35 with 230 passing yards and 1 touchdown. He showed some really good things in those last 2 drives, so good for him, man. He deserved this. He's struggled with his last year with Cleveland, and then his 6 starts with the Panthers. You got to remember this is a quarterback from 2019 that he had a great season in 2019, led the Browns to a playoff win. He's a decent quarterback, and I think that he's a little hated on. But he does some things at the same time where he's done some things in the last year where you don't. I don't blame you if you think he's a bad quarterback, but the way he played tonight, he definitely showed that he has some good things in him. Rushing leader yards, Josh Jacobs had 27 carries, 99 yards, and 1 touchdown. Cam Akers had 12 carries and 42 yards and 1 touchdown. Receiving yards for both teams, Devontae had 3 receptions, 71 yards. And then For the Rams, their leader was Ben Skowronek with 7 receptions and 89 yards. The rest of the leaders, you got Matt Collins, who had 3 rushes with 40 yards, the wide receiver. For the Rams, Baker Mayfield ran it 4 times for 10 yards. Other receptions for the Raiders, Matt Collins had 2 receptions, 22 yards. Jacobs had 2 receptions, 15 yards. For the Rams, Van Jefferson had 2 receptions for 44 yards and 1 touchdown. Tutu Atwell had 5 receptions and 50 yards. And Tyler Higbee had 2 receptions and 11 yards. There was only 1 fumble in this game. It was Cam Akers fumbled. Chandler Jones recovered. And there was 2 interceptions. Derek Carr threw Ernest Jones and Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp was the interception that ended this ball game, and Ernest Jones, I can't remember. I don't think I was watching when that interception happened. But great win for the Rams. This is a team who just won the Super Bowl last season and just broke a 6-game losing streak. They've had a tough year, and they're not going to make the playoffs. I gotta look this up after the video. When was the last time a team won the Super Bowl and the next year didn't make the playoffs? I'm gonna look that up. I gotta look that up after the video. It's had to be a while since that's happened, right? I mean, you win the Super Bowl and then the next year you're in the bottom of the NFL. They're 4-9. They're in the bottom of the NFL. There's not much worse than them besides the Texans, the Bears, and the Broncos. They're a top 4 worst team in the NFL for a team who just won the Super Bowl. It's not like they lost anybody big. The only player they lost was Von Miller. They still had Cooper Kupp, who's been injured a little bit. They still have Stafford, who's been injured, but both of those guys have played in most of this losing streak. So it's not like they've been for half of their they've lost half of their 6 games in a row for their 6-game losing streak that they just broke. Stafford and Kupp were part of about half of that. So then they got Allen Robinson, who he hasn't been good, and they added Bobby Wagner. So I think it's been a very tough season for the Rams, and this was a good motivational win for the Rams. But besides this, not going to do anything for them. It's not like the Rams are fighting for a first-round pick. The Lions get their first-round pick, so you might as well go and try. If you're not gonna get a first-round pick, you might as well go try to play football. For instance, when the Texans go play, if they win, it affects them because they have a pick. They're trying to fight for a first-round pick. The Rams, they're getting a pick, and it's going straight to the Detroit Lions because of that Stafford, Jared Goff trade. So, in my opinion, I think that, why not? I say go out there and try your best. They went out and beat a hot red. They went out there and beat a hot Raiders team. They've won 3 games in a row against the first game was the Broncos, which they're not good, but then they beat the Seahawks. Who the Seahawks are a really good team, and then they beat the Chargers last week. So I think this was just a really good win for the Rams. But besides that, this is nothing much for them. For the Raiders, this was a really tough loss because this was a game that was they're gonna try to keep their playoff hopes alive. Their remaining schedule: the Patriots, the Steelers, and then the 49ers. And then you got to finish with the Chiefs. But besides the Chiefs, which now with the Chiefs game, I honestly could see the Raiders winning out. I know you're probably thinking, why you have them beating the Chiefs? That's week 18. The Chiefs, we're going to assume the Chiefs have locked up the division. So there might not be a Mahomes in that game because they've locked up the division. Well, it depends. If you've locked it, maybe they're playing for the 1 seed though. So who knows? But I don't know. I don't think the Raiders' playoff chances are over because they got an easy schedule. I know the 49ers. They're not an easy team, but They're without Jimmy G. They're without Trey Lance. So they got this kid Brock Purdy in. So I could see them beating the 49ers. I could see them beating the Patriots. And I could see them beating the Steelers. And to be honest, if the Chiefs are resting all their starters, of course they can beat the Chiefs. So honestly, if the Raiders, I think there's a chance the Raiders should win out with the circumstances. But that's my opinion. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on the game was. And that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and peace out.